way I best fit the immunotherapy into my lifestyle was just making sure that I took 3 days after the infusion to myself. I knew with my own experiences that I had quite bad headaches afterwards. I was very tired. So I did not want to put more on my plate than necessary. I used to not allow I didn't have any social events booked in. I didn't allow my friends to come over, and I really sort of just put that time aside to relax and recuperate.
I love doing woodwork, and I love going for walks, and I love I love going for swims, and I love doing the things I normally do. The treatments haven't stopped me from doing the things I love doing. Slowed me down a bit at times, but hasn't stopped me.
How's it affected our lifestyle? Totally turns it upside down. Throws you right out of whack. And then when you just have to take some deep breaths, remember to breathe, and then think about what you can do to incorporate it in your life and do everything you can to help the person who is suffering, make their life as easy as it can be so they can concentrate on what they need to do, which is getting their health back and surviving it.
You do get down a bit. Sometimes you get down, and when the drugs are affecting you more, you think, oh God, I'm not getting any better. Nothing's, and that's it's just a period. And then a couple of days later you think, oh God, I feel really good. So yeah, look for those really good days. You do come down again with the drug, you do. I do. But then you come up again and then you're good again. So it's getting better all the time, each time. The first 6 months were probably the hardest, but now I do feel I'm coping with the drug a lot better.
We kept up a lot of humour, didn't we? We weren't down about anything. We were very encouraged about the availability of the immunotherapy. That was amazing. So we were on some sort of track to, have Kevin continue, even, with a long time to come. And that's all hope. And it's a good feeling, and you get that from the staff at the hospital, and the immunotherapy department were amazing. So we actually had some good times in there. It was a great experience, as well as the, what's the word I'm looking for? Seriousness of what he was facing, for want of a better word.
Yeah, time away is very important to keep replenishing your energy, because it's hard work being a carer. My husband was a tower of strength, so he was the debrief person and the do the housework and the cooking person and all of those things. So, yeah, it helps.
And I've always believed in control the controllables. So there's things you can control, there's things you can influence, and there's things that are out of your control. So, but it has brought it more so to the fore.
I practiced a lot of mindfulness. I went down to the beach a lot. My absolute favourite place to go is just get down to the beach, go for a walk. I had just had brain surgery prior to going on to treatment, so it was also quite important for me to get moving again. But yeah, that sort of thing. I was doing even the adult colouring books. They were quite fun. Yes. So it was just about slowing down and making sure that I was focused on my health and being there and being present to my time and being really focused on myself rather than focusing on everything else in life.
So many of our patients continue to work while they're receiving the immunotherapy treatment. I guess they just need to take in consideration the time off work they may need to attend appointments, for their treatments and scans and blood tests. So really it's a conversation between your workplace and your specialist about, what capacity that you're able to work in, and you may need to change your work commitments. But certainly many patients do continue to work while they're receiving their treatment. If you're not able to work while you're receiving your immunotherapy treatment, or due to the nature of your cancer, there's certainly support available from social workers in terms of the financial or supportive care needs patients might need.
I just went on a holiday not long ago because I was healthy enough to go on a holiday overseas with a friend. It was just the best time because finally I'm at a point where I can go overseas independently. It was just the best thing. So, and immunotherapy allowed me to do that.
The regularity of having something every fortnight and being able to accommodate that means that, our normal things of going away for 3 or 4 weeks you can't do, taking a decent holiday every year. And scheduling around that has been not really a restriction, but it just builds into your planning. Work for me has been good. I've been able to take leave whenever I needed to be there with Peter, but there haven't been many options. But yeah, work's been really good. So it hasn't had a huge impact in those ways.
I felt very normal. Back then I was working. I would be working 8 hours. I'd be lifting, pushing, pulling. I used to work as a storeman. For me to do 8 hours would be absolutely nothing. I'm most amazed how I can still keep working.
I'm here coming from the perspective of a carer. My dad is a patient with cancer, lung cancer, and through that journey I was part of the team looking after him, supporting my mum and the rest of my family, and sort of being often the intermediary with the clinical team and my dad. I work full time, so it was really important that my employer knew about my dad being sick. And fortunately, they were fantastic and gave me a lot of freedom. So it meant that I could be there at clinic visits and just to be around from time to time to help my mum and support Dad at various appointments. I think the role of a carer, you often forget about yourself and the things that you need to do. So I found that being really open with my colleagues was really important, and then once they understood, they could support me.
I think planning is really important. The thing that I didn't think about with a cancer diagnosis and choosing immunotherapy was how time-consuming this is. So there's regular immunotherapy, but then there's, of course, scans and blood tests and regular appointments with my oncologist, my surgeon, the physiotherapy, etc. So this is quite time-consuming. So in terms of maintaining lifestyle, balance, work, family, friends, you do need to plan. On the other hand, you need to also be really flexible, because just when you think everything is planned, something happens and that routine can be disrupted. So planning is important, but a need to be flexible is also just as important.
Exercise is great for your mind as well as your fitness, and just it keeps your body moving, it keeps you distracted, and it also, you feel fantastic afterwards. So if you can continue to do at least some level, I think it's an incredible way to distract yourself through such a difficult time.
So people who have lived their life and not done a lot of exercise, starting their immunotherapy for their cancer can often be gives them the green light to get up and start to do some exercise very gently. But they should do it under the guidance of a physiotherapist or an exercise physiologist. And it can be something very, very simple. It's never too late to start.
Sometimes it's been a bit of a struggle because fatigue is not an uncommon side effects, and I've certainly had aches and pains, sometimes quite severe. So sometimes it's been a bit of a struggle to maintain that exercise regime, but I've just modified it. If I haven't felt up to it, then I've kept my walk shorter. But when I've felt good, I've really appreciated the benefits of that exercise that it's offered me physically, but I think it also has a social, emotional impact as well. It's sort of given me space, fresh air, time to reflect.
In terms of normality, I like to exercise. So when I'm feeling well enough, I get back to the gym and Pilates and a bit of yoga. So that's definitely something that I do, and that's when I know I'm feeling good. Even walks is always good. And I sometimes tend to overdo that, so I have a bit of a go fast mode. So I have to be very wary of the fact to pull myself back, because one of the side effects can be fatigue. So that's where I have to pull myself back a bit.
I think because of his enjoyment of life and activities, and he loves walking, and he was doing anything up to 7, 8, 9, 10 10 kilometres a day with the dog. He loves his walking, loves his fishing, and to see that sort of stop for like 10 to 12 months, I wondered, is it going to come back? But with his determination, and that we were really fortunate, and the physio, to get him back into some shape slowly, but so much better now, and such a good outlook.
It's very important to keep healthy and active and continue exercising while you're receiving your immunotherapy treatment. Certainly, some patients do like to take complementary or alternative medications, and this can be something that they'll seek on their own, or often, family or friends will recommend them. The main thing that we advise patients is to let us know what they're taking. There are some alternative medications that can interact with the way immunotherapy works, or potentially worsen some of the side effects experienced. So we just always prefer to know what patients are taking, and then we can check if there would be any potential interactions.
I asked my medical oncologist right at the very start about some of the. She said, "Well, if you give me the names of them, I can check with the pharmacy whether they're suitable."
Talk to your treating team about it. Do not go to Dr. Google. Dr. Google will be wrong, possibly. So yes, get to speak to your treating team, so that way the recommendation can be based exactly on what you're having. They know exactly the treatment that you're having.
There's no specific dietary guidelines for patients while they're receiving immunotherapy. We always advocate that patients have a healthy, nutritious diet, limit their intake of processed foods. Some patients certainly have a decreased appetite and don't feel like eating as much while they're receiving treatment, and that certainly can be distressing for family members, but often less distressing for the patient. We always just recommend a balanced, healthy diet, and you can talk to your team about a referral to a dietitian or nutrition assistant if you're concerned about your diet. We certainly just recommend everything in moderation, and don't recommend any sort of radical diets or treatments while they're receiving their immunotherapy.